The ancient Chinese had a saying, "May you live in interesting times." Actually, it was a kind of a curse in those days, because interesting times was every time there was a major shift in the dynasties. It was a usually violent time, but also something new is coming. Well, we could say interesting times. Ours are interesting times, because we live in a cusp, on a bifurcation, in a phase change period. Someplace where we know that many things could happen, some very good, some less good. But one thing cannot happen. We cannot just stay as we were. So we better wake up, because there is a chance to change. There is more than just a chance, there's a necessity to change. And this change is more than something random that just happens. If you let it just happen, the chances that it will be positive change are not all that good, because there's so many alternative possibilities. We can't let it be random. Nowadays, what we're talking about is conscious change. If you mean by change, we mean something that is progressive, that is purposive, then we're talking about evolution. Evolution not just for species, but for humanity, for the human mind, for the human society, for the human family. We're talking about the next step in our evolution. Don't think that we have always been the same. Some people have been talking about human nature as being fixed once and for all. We don't really know what we mean exactly by human nature. What we know is that there is such a thing as a culture, and that certainly is changing all the time. We know there's such a thing as value systems, it's changing all the time. And there is something underlying all of this, which we can call the worldview. The way we look at ourselves, the way we look at the world. When you come right down to it, the need for change is the need for a better worldview. Now these young people talk about a story, a new story. Okay, the new understanding. What is the world like? Who are we? How do we fit into the world? Because we had an old story. And let's contrast for a moment the old story with the new. The old story that we are all separate. We are here, I am here, you are there. We are two different people. And we don't have much to do with each other. At the most, we can join together if it's in our interest. If it's in our individual interest, then you can help me and I can help you. But there's nothing much more than that. And there's nothing much more than that between the relationship between me and nature, or humankind and the planet. Just separate things. We are all individuals, bits of matter floating around in space and taking up time. That's the old paradigm. That's the old story. And if you stick with that story, then we will continue to do what we have been doing, which is trying to look at our own interest as a separate interest, as something that you have to do for yourself, and you just hope that you're not harming too many other people if you have some kind ethical concepts at the same time in your mind. But basically, you're looking after your own interest, and one hopes that, of course, that will, in a way, help the others as well. But doesn't work like that. If you keep looking after your own interests in the world, then ever fewer people have ever more of the money, have ever more of the power, have disposed ever more of the resources, the availability of resources, healthy air, food, environment, all of that, water, everything that we need to live to thrive, is diminishing. If we keep doing that on a finite planet, just pursuing our own individual interests as though we were separate people, is going to destroy this planet. We're heading toward a collapse. People have been suspecting that and say, well, we talked about 2012 at the end of the world, didn't happen. But actually something happened, something happened because a new wave has been starting. More and more people are becoming aware of the need to change something, and to change something in the world, they need to change themselves. We all need to change ourselves. And this change means the new story, the new paradigm. And the new paradigm is one of connection, of interconnection. All things act on all other things. Nobody is separate. Oneness, yes. entanglement, the physicists call it. Because, underneath it all, there is a single consciousness, a single information that's running the world. This is not an esoteric statement. This is not a statement that just comes from wild imagination running amok. It is a statement coming from quantum physics, the newest of the physical sciences, the newest understanding of the nature of the universe, and from quantum consciousness research, quantum brain research, quantum biology. All of these show that we are intimately connected. We affect each other. So the new paradigm is one of connection, one of oneness. How do we reach this? By an old-fashioned saying that has become more and more fashionable, more and more new, is by feeling that we are one, by relating to each other through love, by belonging to a community of life on Earth, which is part of the community of all life in the cosmos. A new paradigm is not just imagination. It's true, it's scientifically validated, and it's badly, urgently needed. We don't have all that much time. If we continue just in our old way, we are heading toward a systemic crisis, precipitated perhaps by climate change, but it's carrying on to social crisis, to animosity, to violence, to wars, to dissatisfaction, to strain, ever more stress in the world. You don't have to be a doomsday prophet to see this, because there is a bright side, there is a silver lining to these gathering clouds, because there is a mindset change coming about already. We can be part of that. Let me conclude this by saying, what am I trying to do? How can you help with this? I'm trying to be a midwife, creating an organization that can help people come together to pursue their dreams in the framework of the new paradigm of connection, the new paradigm of oneness, of interaction. And this framework, we call it the Club of Budapest because there's a group of like-minded individuals came together 21 years ago in the city of Budapest. They included the Dalai Lama, one of the first members. They included Gorbachev. At the time, he was very much in line for this, and he still is. Included some famous spiritual actors and singers like Peter Ustinov, Yehudi Menuhin, Liv Ullmann, a number of others. So now we are still a group of individuals, but now we have 17 organizations worldwide, including the newly founded, or rather refounded, Club of Budapest, UK, where we bring together like-minded people to think and to act. It's not just a think tank, it's to be a do tank. We do something together, so as to shift this course of events from a collapse-bound, crisis-bound course into a positive, thriving course. We can make it together. We would like you to join. What you do is up to you. What we would like to show, what we would like to agree on, is that there is a new paradigm, a new spirit awakening in the world. If we dedicate ourselves to that spirit, then we can be a positive force. We can shift the world. We can make a change in time. There's not much time. But there is such an awakening, there is such a re-round of a new spirit. If we can empower that, if we can get behind it, if we can be part of it, then we will make it. I'm sure we can. But join us, because we can only make it together. Thank you.